Sri Sai Satcharitra, chapters 43 and 44. Baba's passing away continued. Preparation: placing Baba in the Samadhi Mandir, the breaking of the brick, 72 hours Samadhi, Jog's sannyas, and Baba's nectar-like words.
Previous preparation. It is the general practice amongst the Hindus that when a man is about to die, some good religious scripture is read out to him with the object that his mind should be withdrawn from worldly things and fixed in spiritual matters, so that his future progress should be natural and easy. Everybody knows that when King Parikshit was cursed by the son of a Brahmin rishi and was about to die after a week, the great sage Shukadev expounded to him the famous Bhagavad Purana in that week. This practice is followed even now, and the Gita, Bhagavad, and other sacred books are read out to dying people. Baba, being an incarnation of God, needed no such help, but just to set an example to the people, he followed this practice. When he knew that he was about to pass away soon, he asked one Mr. Vaze to read Ram Vijay to him. He read the book once in the week. Then Baba asked him to read the same again, day and night, and he finished the second reading in 3 days. Thus 11 days passed. Then again he read for 3 days and was exhausted. So Baba let him go and kept himself quiet. He abided in himself and was waiting for the last moment. 2 or 3 days earlier, Baba had stopped his morning going out and begging rounds and sat quietly in the masjid. He was conscious till the last moment and was advising the devotees not to lose heart. He let nobody know the exact time of his departure. Kaka Sahib Dikshit and Shriman Bhuti were dining with him daily in the masjid. October 15th, after the Arati, he asked them to go to their residence for dining. Still a few, like Lakshmibai Shinde, Bayaji, Lakshman Bala Shimpi, and Nana Sahib Nimonkar remained there, and Shama was sitting down on the steps. After giving 9 rupees to Lakshmibai, Baba said that he did not feel well there. He wanted to be taken to the stone wada of Bhuti, where he would be all right. While saying these last words, he leaned on Bayaji's body and breathed his last. Pagoji noticed that his breathing had stopped, and he immediately told this to Nana Sahib Nimonkar, who was sitting near. Nana Sahib brought some water and poured it in Baba's mouth. It came out. Then he cried out loudly, "O Deva!" Baba seemed to open his eyes and say, "Ah," in a low tone. It soon became evident that Baba had left his mortal body for good. The news of Baba's passing away spread like wildfire in the village of Shirdi, and all people, men, women, and children ran to the masjid and began to mourn this loss in various ways. Some cried out loudly, some wallowed on, and some fell down senseless in the streets. Tears ran down from the eyes of all, and everyone was filled with sorrow. Some people started remembering the words of Sai Baba. Somebody said that Sai Baba told his devotees that in time to come he would appear as a lad of 8 years. In the Krishna avatar, Chakrapani performed this very deed. Krishna appeared before Devaki in the prison as a lad of 8 years who had a bright complexion and who wielded weapons in his 4 arms. In that incarnation, he lightened the burden of the earth. This incarnation, as Sai Baba, was for the uplift of his devotees. Then where is the reason for doubt? The ways of the saints are really inscrutable. This contact of Sai Baba with his devotees is not only for 1 generation, but it is there for the last 72 generations. Generating such ties of love, it appears that Sai Baba has gone for tour and that the devotees had a firm belief that he would return soon. Then the question arose, how to lay Baba's body to rest. Some Muslims said that the body should be interred in an open space and a tomb built over it. Even Kushal Chand and Amir Shakkar shared this opinion. But Ramachandra Patil, the village officer, said to the villagers with a firm and determined voice, "Your thought is not acceptable to us. Baba's body should be placed nowhere except in the wada." Thus, people were divided on this point, and discussion regarding this went on for 36 hours. On Wednesday morning, Baba appeared to Lakshman Mama Joshi in his dream, and drawing him by his hand, said,
"Get up soon. Bapu Sahib thinks that I am dead, and so he won't come. You do the worship and the morning arati."
Lakshman Mama was the village astrologer and maternal uncle of Shama. He was an Orthodox Brahmin and daily worshipped Baba first in the morning and then all village deities. He had full faith in Baba. After the vision, he came with all the puja materials and, not minding the protests of the Molvis, did the puja and the kakad arati with all due formalities and went away. Then, at noon, Bapu Sahib Jog came with all others and went through the noon arati ceremony as usual. After paying due respect to Baba's words, the people decided to place his body in the wada and started digging the central portion there. In the evening of Tuesday, the sub-inspector came from Rahata and others turned up from other places, and they all agreed to the proposal. Next morning, Amir Bhai came from Mumbai and the Mamlatdar from Kopargaon. The people seemed to be divided in their opinions. Some insisted on interring his body in the open field. The Mamlatdar found that the proposal to use the wada secured double the number of votes. He, however, wanted to refer the matter to the collector, and Kaka Sahib Dikshit got himself ready to go to Ahmednagar. Meanwhile, by Baba's inspiration, there was a change in the opinion of the other people, and all unanimously voted for the proposal. On Wednesday evening, Baba's body was taken in procession and brought to the wada and was interred there with due formalities in the garbha. This was a central portion, originally reserved for Murlidhar. In fact, Baba became the Murlidhar, and the wada became a temple and a holy shrine where so many devotees since then have been going to find rest and peace. All the rituals for Baba were duly performed by Bala Sahib Phate, an Upasani, a great devotee of Baba. It may be noted here that, as observed by Professor Narke, Baba's body did not get stiff, though it was exposed for 36 hours, and that all the limbs were elastic, and that his kafni could be taken out without being torn to pieces. Breaking of the brick. Some days before Baba's departure, there occurred an ominous sign foreboding the event. There was, in the masjid, an old brick on which Baba rested his hand and sat. At night time, he leaned against it and had his asan. This went on for many years. One day, during Baba's absence, a boy who was sweeping the floor took it up in his hand, and it, unfortunately, slipped out and fell down and got broken into 2 pieces. When Baba came to know about this, he bemoaned its loss, saying,
"It is not the brick, but my fate that has been broken into pieces. It was my lifelong companion. With it, I always meditated on the self. It was as dear to me as my life. It has left me today."
Some may raise here a question. Why should Baba express this sorrow for such an inanimate thing such as a brick? To this, Hemad Pant replies that saints reincarnate in this world with the express mission of saving the poor and helpless people, and when they embody themselves and act with the people, they act like them. They outwardly laugh, play, and cry like all other people, but inwardly they are wide awake to their duties and mission. 72 hours Samadhi. 32 years before this, in 1886, Baba made an attempt to cross the border line. On a Purnima day, Baba suffered from a severe attack of asthma. To get rid of it, Baba decided to take his pran high up and go into Samadhi. He said to Malsapati,
Protect my body for 3 days. If I return, everything will be fine. If I do not, bury my body in that open land and fix 2 flags there as a mark.
After saying this, Baba fell down at about 10 p.m. His breathing stopped as well as his pulse. It seemed as if his pranam left the body. All the people, including the villagers, came there and wanted to hold an inquest and bury the body in the place pointed by Baba. But Malsapati prevented this. With Baba's body on his lap, he sat 3 full days guarding it. After 3 days passed, Baba showed signs of life at 3 a.m. His breathing commenced, the abdomen began to move. His eyes opened, and stretching his limbs, Baba returned to life again. From this and other accounts, let the reader consider whether Sai Baba was the 3.5 cubits body that he occupied for some years, and that he left thereafter, or was he the self inside? The body, composed of the 5 elements, is perishable and transient, but the self within is the thing, absolute reality. It is immortal and intransient. This pure being, consciousness or Brahma, the ruler and controller of the senses and mind, is Sai. This pervades all things in the universe, and there is no space without it. For fulfilling his mission, he assumed this body, and after it was fulfilled, he threw away the body and assumed his infinite aspect. Sai ever lives, as also the previous incarnation of God Dattatreya, Sri Narasimha Saraswati of Gangapur. His passing away is only an outward aspect, but in reality, he pervades all inanimate and animate things, and is their inner controller and ruler. This can be, and is even now experienced by many who surrender themselves completely to him and worship him with wholehearted devotion. Though it is not possible for us to see Baba's form now onwards, if we go to Shirdi, we shall find his beautiful lifelike portrait adorning the masjid. This has been drawn by Shamrao Jaikar, a famous artist and well-known devotee of Baba. To an imaginative and devout spectator, this portrait can give even today the satisfaction of taking Baba's darshan. Though Baba has no gross body now, he lives there and everywhere, and will affect the welfare of the devotees even now, as he was doing before when he was embodied. Saints like Baba never die. Though they look like men, they are in reality God himself. Bapu Sahib Jog's Sannyas. Hemad Pant closes this chapter with the account of Jog's sannyas. Bapu Sahib Jog was the uncle of the famous Varkari Vishnu Bua Jog of Pune. He had no issue. After his retirement from government service in 1909, he came and lived in Shirdi with his wife. Both husband and wife loved Baba and spent all their time in worshipping and serving Baba. After Megha's death, Bapu Sahib did the Arati ceremony in the masjid and Chavadi till Baba's Mahasamadhi daily. He was also entrusted with the work of reading and explaining Dhyaneshwari and Eknath Bhagavat in Sathe's Wada to the audience. After serving for many years, Jog asked Baba, "I have served you so long. My mind is not yet calm and composed. How is it that my contact with saints has not improved me? When will you bless me?" Hearing the Bhakta's prayer, Baba replied,
In due course, your bad actions and their fruit will be destroyed. Your merits and demerits will be reduced to ashes, and I shall consider you blessed. Then you will renounce all attachments and conquer lust and palate, and thereby getting rid of all impediments, you will serve God wholeheartedly and resort to the begging bowl, accepting sannyas.
After some time, Baba's words became true. His wife predeceased him, and as he had no other attachment, he became free and accepted sannyas before his death and realized the goal of his life. Baba's nectar-like words. The kind and merciful Sai Baba said many a time the following sweet words in the masjid.
He who loves me dearly always sees me. The whole world is desolate to him without me. He tells no stories but mine. He continuously meditates upon me and always chants my name. I feel indebted to him who surrenders himself completely to me and always remembers me. I shall repay his debt by giving him salvation and self-realization. I am dependent on him who thinks and hungers after me and who does not eat anything without first offering it to me. He who thus comes to me becomes one with me, just as a river merges with the sea. So abandon pride and egoism and surrender yourself to me, who is seated in your heart.
Who is this me? Baba expounded many a time who this me is. He said,
You need not go anywhere in search of me. Barring your name and form, there exists in you, as well as in all beings, a sense of being or consciousness of existence. That is me. Knowing this, you see me inside yourself, as well as in all beings. If you practice this, you will realize all pervasiveness and thus attain oneness with me.
Hemart Pant therefore requests the readers humbly and lovingly that they should love and respect all gods, saints, and devotees. Has not Baba often said,
He who carps and cavils at others pierces me in the heart and injures me, but he who suffers and endures pleases me the most.
Baba thus pervades all beings and creatures. He likes nothing but love to all beings. Such nectar, pure auspicious ambrosia, always flowed from Baba's lips. He therefore concludes, those who lovingly sing Baba's fame and those who hear the same with devotion, both become one with Sai. Bow to Sri Sai, peace be to all.